It's 7 p.m. and I call this regularly scheduled meeting of the Red Oak City Council to order. Let it be known that we have a quorum with all council members present. Notice has been duly posted in accordance to Texas Government Code Section 551. And we're here to conduct the business of the city. Mayor Pro Tem Franklin, are you able to lead us in the invocation? Pledges, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I would like to invite Pastor and First Lady Fagans up to lead us in prayer. Doing great work in Believer City here in Red Oak, as well as First Lady Fagans, who's the educator here in Red Oak. So I want to invite them up to do the prayer, then I'll take it from there with the exhortations. Excellent.
Thank you, guys. My name again is Christopher Fagans. My wife is Tiffany Fagans. We are with Believer City Church here in Red Oak. I want to just say thank you for who you guys are and what you guys do as elected officials who serve, the impact that you guys can make, and the decisions that you have to make are not easy decisions, but you guys always put the needs of the community first. And so we greatly appreciate you for all that you do. Can I lead us in prayer at this time? Most gracious Heavenly Father, God, I thank you for this opportunity to stand before this council and the people of this city. God, we thank you for your presence. We thank you for your power. We thank you for your provisions in every aspect of our lives. God, what we're asking right now is that we invite you into a place that you already have ownership in. God, help lead and guide these men and women to make proper decisions that can continue to impact the growth of this amazing city. Father God, give them the rest and the peace that they need as they wrestle with different decisions. And God, just continue to govern the hearts of the people within this city, that we can grow and love and live in a manner that you called us to live. Let Red Oak be a light of the world. Let Red Oak be the salt of the earth. And we will give you all the glory and honor. In Jesus' name, amen. Yeah, thank you.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Pastor Fagan.
No problem. Thank you, guys. Be blessed.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Now, it's time for proclamations. And it's like Kyle to come up. Let's do proclamation. Kyle is our Public Works Director, and he's up here for a reason because the United States House of Representatives designated July as Parks and Recreation Month. And we are so excited about the numbers and the ways that our parks and the citizens have used them, have grown. It's been known that spending time in the nature promotes mental health and increases cognitive performance and well-being, such as helps depression, attention deficit disorders, and Alzheimer's. The Parks and Recreation encourages physical activity by providing space for our youth. Walking trails, splash pads, and many other activities designed to promote active lifestyles. The parks and recreation activities such as youth sports and leisure opportunities are critical to childhood development. They increase a community's economic prosperity through increased tourism. Fundamentally, the environmental well-being of our community. So by the power invested to me as the city of Red Oak, as mayor, I proclaim July 2026 as this National Parks and Recreation Month. So I'd like to present this to you and thank you for what you're doing.
All right, I didn't prepare anything, but I do want to thank council and management for all the support in recognizing the Parks and Recreation and how it impacts the quality of life for our residents. But more importantly, I want to invite everybody to our grand opening of the splash pad this Friday at 9 a.m. at Pearson Park. If you can join us, we'd love to see you. Thanks.
Yes, Red Oak has come a long way during the time that I've been here, from parks that were slow to develop. And now we have stuff that we can be very proud of. So took a lot of hard work. Thanks city staff and management, the IDC and the EDC to be able to do all that stuff. And you know, we just got done hosting the national, World Series. What level was that? What do you know?
What?
The World Series, what was it? Just
There's the U-Trip. There's 59 teams from all over the country.
so, we just got done hosting that, and that was a huge number of people that showed up here to Red Oak. So, okay. Now's the time for public comments. Did we have anybody that submitted anything? So we did have one that was submitted online. Heidi, you want to stand up and speak, or you want us to read this into the record? What do you want us to do? Okay. You have a copy with you? Yeah. Okay. Please state your name, your address, and just realize that you are limited to 3 minutes.
I'm Heidi Johanna and I live at 103 Brushy Way. And I think that's. I am speaking about two
So
issues.
would you go ahead and repeat it again since you weren't in front of the mic?
Oh, I'm Heidi Johanna and I live at 103 Brushy Way in Red Oak. I'm speaking about two issues regarding local government code 211. First, during the rezoning process of the Goodloe Acres, the city asserts that it did what was legally required in that they notified adjacent property holders who are on municipal tax rolls and placed a notification in a local paper. However, majority of property holders who would be most adversely affected were understandably upset because they received no notification simply because they aren't on city tax rolls. Meanwhile, city council members are indignant at being accused of making under the table deals with data center companies. Both of these problems could be easily solved with 2 4x4 posts, a sheet of plywood, and some paint. If the city had gone a step further than what was legally required and had posted signs on Pierce Road and FM 2377 regarding the potential zoning change weeks, months, or even years ago, local residents wouldn't be so quick to assume the city is trying to sneak one past us. And city council members would be spared from suffering through unfounded accusations. The city might have done what was legally required, but I'm asking the city to change their policies and in the future go a step further and do what good neighbors do. The second issue is also related to Code 211 and related to parks. Zoning regulations must be adopted in accordance with a comprehensive plan. On page 69 of Red Oak's comprehensive plan, a potential trail corridor has been identified along the creek that runs right through the middle of the Goodloe Acres. It seems that this plan was only acknowledged at the last minute when it was revealed that Compass Data Centers, upon completion of their project, would return 100 acres to the city for park space. I'm urging the city council to put its comprehensive plan first rather than an afterthought and make the potential trail corridor an actual trail corridor before groundbreaking even begins for the data center campus. I have read many reports of data center campuses that never actually complete construction because, surprise, technology advances force them to make constant upgrades. Because of this, I'm afraid this potential trail corridor would never be built, and even if it is completed, there won't be any nature left to enjoy after the construction of 8 data centers on this land. Building this trail now would be an excellent opportunity for Compass and the city to show their commitment to protecting our environment and to being a good neighbor. Please make this trail a priority rather than an afterthought. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Now's the time for what we call consent agenda. Consent agenda or, yes, sir.
Is public comment still open?
It, you had to have signed up before 7. Yeah, I'll allow you to come on up. Just make sure we have your name and address. So.
James McLean, 216 Wooded Meadow Lane, here in Red Oak, Texas, used to be on the planning and zoning. The only reason I wanted to come is because of the construction on 35, where the bridge is coming through. That area was not blocked off. We've had several accidents there. I got in contact with Ben as well as Lee. They did come and but we need to go a little bit further. If someone would go there and sit, they're constantly all day coming across the highway. And we've had, I'm sure they can tell you, we've had plenty of wrecks and stuff there. It's just that we need, I don't know if it would be Lancaster or us right there after they get off to go to Bear Creek, but it needs to be extended a little bit more.
Where are you talking about? Sorry, please.
Right there where the road that comes out for the Loop 9,
Oh, okay.
that I contacted Lee and Ben, and we did get additional ones, but they stop it right there. So when they get there, they just come across. And then one of the officers then will go down there, you'll see people constantly stuck in the mud coming across the highway because they don't want to go through the traffic. But yeah, it's really bad. I sent Lee and them pictures. DOT came and did one part, but it needs just to go a little bit further for the safety. I mean, I'm sure the fire department knows there's tons of ruts right there. People going across.
So they're crossing the median. I'm sure we can put our spikes up there and just kind of help that.
We've had several major accidents.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, sir. Yeah, we'll look at that. It's probably TxDOT and we have no control over that. But we don't know. We don't know.
When they notified us before, they said 2 weeks to order to get it there. I just didn't, we haven't contacted them until it.
Sure, okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, so now's the time for consent agenda. Consent agenda are items that are considered routine in nature, can be acted upon in one motion. Either the council members or city management can, city manager can kind of pull one out for further discussion. Is there any clarification that needs to be done by any council member?
No items, Mr. Mayor.
Hearing none, I'll want a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented. Second, that's Lightfoot. You sent it over to me. Miller. Okay. Miller. Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Flannery, aye.
Miller, aye.
Lightfoot, aye. Smith, aye.
That's 5-0. Item 5 of the regular agenda is to conduct a public hearing and consider approval of ordinance number 26-018 of the City Council, City of Red Oak, Texas, approving a specific use plan at plant permit SUP in PD Planned Development 15 revised PD 15R zoning district to allow an approximately 1,200 square foot accessory building with a heavy gauge metal roof on the property described as Lot 1, Block A of the Springfield Farms and addressed as 100 Springfield Lane, City of Waxahachie, Ellis County, Texas. Case ZC 2609 requested by Luke Abonley. Roderick.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, council. I know some of you are kind of probably a little confused about the address. It does lie within our jurisdiction as far as the zoning is concerned. What I have on the map right now is kind of where this is located is far south within our city jurisdiction. So where you see the pink is where our city boundaries are. So it's far south in this neighborhood here. Just kind of blasting out. So you see all the pink that's in our city limits as far as our zoning is concerned. So it's just far south out here, kind of, it's in this area right here. It's where the house is located, but they're proposing this one. So just kind of want to give you guys an idea of exactly where it's located and kind of, so you can explain why it has that address or understanding where it's at. So we'll jump to the
You
actual.
explained it, I don't know if I understand why.
Not so much. Well, that would be more so with the, I guess, with the post office more so as far as that's concerning. I just wanted to show you exactly where it's at. But as far as the actual accessory structure, the applicant is proposing this accessory structure on their site. Typically, with the zoning that they currently have, we could allow this outright because of the zoning district they have and the size of the lot that they have. We typically would be able to allow an accessory structure actually all the way up to about 3,000 square feet. However, because they're requesting the metal roof, then we have to come in and it has to go through the SUP process. The House bill typically that came out in 2019 would typically tell us that we couldn't enforce the metal roofs rules, but because it's in the deed restrictions within the zoning district that they're in, then they have to come before us for the SUP. So that's why it's actually here before you guys today, is because it's in the deed restrictions within that particular area. So that's why all in all that is here. So that PD, they added deed restrictions into it, it's in the plat and all of that. So we had to bring it before you guys here today. They put in things just for the roof. They only allowed them to have certain types of roof. They added into the zoning and into the deed restrictions for that neighborhood. So they're proposing the 1,200 square foot accessory structure along with a shaded area or a lean-to roof on the side of that one, which is about an additional 500 square feet. So it brings it realistically to around 700 or 1,700 square feet, give or touch, for that one. So the proposed accessory structure is going to be to the rear of the house. They're constructing it of brick all around that one. It'll be the roof and the lean-to roof will be the metal that's going to be around that one. For this particular one, you'll pull through the side of the house, driving by where their current garage is, and then they'll have an additional driveway. You'll pull into the back for the garage as well, and then the lean-to roof will be kind of towards the side of their house, so they can come out and go towards the kind of a patio on the side of their house as well, is what the applicant is proposing. So kind of showing you the top of that structure and the front of that one. Kind of some more pictures of it. And then the applicant actually provided us with some additional kind of more 3D type of pictures of what that's going to look like compared to how their house looks from the back. And then additional one that's more so from the front. So You don't have any garage doors or anything like that that's going to be facing the street from that structure that they're proposing. It'll just be accessible from the rear of that structure. And with that, I'll stand for any additional questions you guys may have.
Okay, so this is a public hearing. So we'll open the public hearing. And the time is 7:20. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak on this matter? So we did have Roderick, so this notice, this was submitted after the P and Z?
Yes, we received that one citizen concern after the P and Z meeting.
Okay.
Well, they may be here.
Is Darius Adams here? No, can I read it in? Is it public?
Sure.
So Darius,
When you open the. public-
I did.
You can see it. If he's done in the applicant. Yes.
Does the applicant have a presentation? Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting ready to say. So it's Darius Adams at 101 Shepherd Hill, Waxahachie. Shepherd's Hill, Waxahachie. It's against it. With the high winds, I believe the metal roof would be a danger to the community. That's all it states.
It's rated at 110 miles per hour. Oh, sorry. So they, okay,
Name that this.
Luke Bonley at 100 Springfield Lane, proposing the house with the metal roof. I believe it's rated at 110 mile an hour winds, and it's a heavy gauge metal roof, so it's not the flimsy 20. It's a 26 gauge, I think, and there's a lot more flimsy roofs out there. So, one more comment. I will say that there are two identically constructed buildings right on Shawnee Road with the brick veneer and the metal roofs. So we're trying to match that style.
Could you
Sir,
repeat?
Engaged in with a contractor that's gonna do the whole assembly.
Yes, Woolstill Buildings, they're contracting everything. It's a turnkey project.
All right, so
City secretary said she needs his address because she couldn't hear him.
okay, if you'll repeat. that.
Sure, 100 Springfield Lane. Luke Bonley, residence.
So I take it you're for it.
Yes,
Okay,
for 10 years now.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that wishes to speak on this? Entertain a motion to close this public hearing at 7:23.
So moved.
Lightfoot and Flannery. Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Miller, aye.
Smith, I.
It's closed at 7:23:50. All right. Counselor, are there other questions that you have?
No question.
No question.
Can we just officially state whether or not address the concern that was written into us? Is
Yeah, Roger, I was gonna say, thank you. But you didn't get a chance to look at it before P and Z, but any concerns with the roof and the winds and?
yeah, the gentleman asked, he said that high winds believe the metal roof would be a danger to the community. With what you just heard, is it a danger to the community?
Ben didn't have any, so Ben would be the one that will actually be the one that would look into any loads or anything like that will be of any concern. As far as failure, Ben or Jacob was figure out if it would be of any concern of failure or anything like that, and there weren't any concerns with that.
And just so for the record, the building code, for that kind of structure has, tensile strength requirements, and it'll have to meet that building code requirement, which should take care of the issue that the citizen.
Correct.
Would that be
Yeah.
part of our inspection process? to make
So
sure
they
that-
would still have to turn in a building permit after the zoning portion.
Thanks,
They-
Bob.
And they would have to be engineered, signed off by Ben.
Thank you, sir.
Roderick, just so that I understand.
Yes,
and council understands. The reason that we have to do this as an SUP is because the deed restrictions were attached to the zoning ordinance.
So when they
They
came
were
in.
Part of the zoning ordinance.
So whenever they did when they did the zoning for it, then they completed their zoning and then they also did deed restrictions as well, kind of, I guess, not necessarily attached to it, but they did subsequent with their zoning. There were deed restrictions that came along with it. So when you look inside of their plat that goes with it, there are deed restrictions inside of their plat. So they have it handwritten. We do have a copy inside of their zoning that talks about the roof shingles. Then when you dig deeper inside of there, and when we pull their plat, there are additional restrictions that are inside of there as well.
Oh.
So it's kind of linked together with the two different items.
Okay.
And as a city, we've allowed a house and a building to have separate roofs before. There's other instances. I know most of the time we sit up here and we've always said they need to match and all that stuff,
Well,
but we've allowed.
that would be kind of different types of things when we're talking about that. If we're saying just a house and a roof, we would be looking at separate things. For this particular thing, we're looking at, we had the zoning and then they had additional deed restrictions as well. So they had their zoning, which they're inside of a planned development district, right? Planned development district has specific requirements inside of that planned development district for the roofing materials. And then they attach those additional requirements inside of deed restrictions. And then they added it onto their plat. Then, so when we went in and did the history and did all the research, then we saw that those deed restrictions were tied to all of those items, which required us to say, hey, you're gonna need the SUP for it.
But as a city, we've done it for other housing additions, I'm assuming, right? We have.
Typically, most shops and detached things like that are typically metal. And personally, I think it's probably safer than shingles.
Absolutely.
Shingles be flying.
100%.
I just wanna make sure.
Nothing's gonna stay on at 110 miles per hour, so doesn't matter what it is. But it is not attached to the living structure, correct? And it cannot be attached, correct?
Right,
Okay, and they know that too, correct?
right.
All right, good. Just making sure. Yep, and I guess it's already been done in that neighborhood to allow those type of buildings. Can you confirm or deny that?
I cannot confirm, so I did not approve those. There are some accessory structures that are within that neighborhood, but they are on that fine line that's just right there adjacent to Waxahachie and other zoning districts.
So maybe not the city.
It may not be within our city.
Okay. Do we know that? They're down that street. Okay, all right, so that's cool. That makes sense. That, the owner, the applicant, the Mrs. Applicant, I assume. Okay,
For the
This is-
record, though, she needs to know who spoke so that we've got a record of that.
Oh,
It's
gotcha.
okay that you asked her a question, but we just need her name. I assume she lives with that gentleman that got up and spoke before.
Sorry. Helen Bonley, 100 Springfield Lane.
thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you in that spot. That was my error. I do that a lot. Any other questions?
No question.
All right. And so this is, it's approval of ordinance number 26-018. I'll entertain that motion.
So moved.
Second.
And that was, Franklin Smith. Those in favor?
Franklin, aye.
Planner, aye.
Miller, aye.
Lightfoot, aye.
Smith, aye.
That passes 5-0. Thank you all. Item 6, consider all matters incident and related to the issuance and sale of the City of Red Oak, Texas General Obligation Pension Bonds, taxable series 20 26, including the adoption of ordinance number 26-019, authorizing the issuance of such obligations and establishing procedures and delegating authority for the sale and delivery of such bonds. Mr. McRoberts.
Mayor, Council, thank you. The fiscal year 25-26 adopted budget included Texas Municipal Retirement System plan changes that aligned the city of Red Oak with comparison cities. These changes took effect January 1st, 2026. The changes moved the city's TMRS contribution rate from 6.98% to 19.5%, with further actuarial valuations to increase the rate to 20.61% on January 1st, 2027. While the contribution increases were expected, in order to mitigate the effects on the city's maintenance and operations tax rate, it's recommended that the city issue pension obligation bonds to fund a lump sum payment to TMRS to reduce the city's total unfunded actuarial liability. This would bring the city's contribution rate under 13% based on the current estimations. The recommended lump sum amount to be financed through pension obligation bonds would be $14.5 million. The attached ordinance authorizes the issuance of such obligation and establishes procedures delegating authority for the sale and delivery of such bonds, including designating pricing officer, which would be City Manager Todd Fuller and Deputy City Manager Jonathan Phillips. With that, Andre from Hilltop is here as well, if y'all have any questions.
So council, this is something that we had known that was going to be coming down the pike. Andre, was there anything surprised about what you supplied with us that you need to kind of review to us?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Andre Ayala with Hilltop Security, 717 North Harwood Street, Suite 3400, Dallas, Texas. No, there is nothing here that makes me concerned about this issuance. This would assist actually the city in having more budgetary flexibility by moving some of the payments from the general fund to the debt service fund. So ultimately, this is to give the city more flexibility on how you fund your pension payments. And to expand that further, Mayor, this ordinance authorizes city manager and deputy city manager to execute the transaction on or before you adopt your 2026 tax rate, which is expected in August. So we're in process of setting that up so that that can happen before then. These bonds would be no longer than 20 years and it would be a fixed rate. So it would not be a variable rate on the payments.
Do we know what that rate is yet?
So what we're budgeting for is somewhere between 5.50% and 6% because it is a taxable bond.
Council, any questions?
No question.
Okay, we have a specific wordage that needs to be done. Does everybody have a copy in front? Can I get somebody? Okay, please.
All right, this is right up 6, right? All right, I'll move to adopt ordinance 26-019, authorizing the issuance and sale of City of Red Oak, Texas General Obligation Pension Bonds, taxable series 2026, and approving all other matters related thereto.
Councilman Lightfoot, Councilman Smith, is there any further discussion?
No question.
All right, motion has been made. Those in favor?
Franklin, aye.
Planner, aye.
Miller, aye.
Lightfoot, aye. Smith, aye.
That passes 5-0. Thank you. Thank you, sir, very much. All right, item 7.
Yeah, Mayor, if the council would
And eight.
consider 7 and 8 together, because they are related, and I'll let Mr. McRoberts speak first, and then I can speak to the amendment that
Okay,
accompanies as item 8.
you want me to read it first?
That'd be great.
Okay, we'll do that. So, hang tight, just
All right, no problem.
discussion and consideration of adopted resolution number 26-030R. The City Council, City of Red Oak, Texas, approving a reimbursement agreement between the city and the Oaks of Red Oak LLC and Red Oak 66 Holding LLC in connection with the Red Oak Public Improvement District Number 1 and consider adoption of resolution 26-031R, the City Council, City of Red Oak, Texas, approving the terms and conditions of the Second Amendment to the Public Improvement Development Services Agreement, which is attached hereto and incorporated herein as Exhibit A by and between the City of Red Oak and the Oaks of Red Oak LLC to increase the participated maximum principal amount of PID bonds to be issued for the purpose of financing the PID bonds, PID projects, and to increase the anticipated authorized improvement costs to an amount not to exceed $14 million, subject to final approval as to the form by city attorney, authorizing the city manager or designee to execute said agreement and providing an effective date. Okay, sorry about that. Now, Mr. McCrobbins.
Okay, on December 14th, 2020, City Council approved resolution authorizing, establishing, and creating the Red Oak Public Improvement District Number 1. So with this reimbursement agreement and the amendment to the development agreement, this will allow the Public Improvement District to begin phases 2 and 3 within the original district. With that, Andre is here to give a quick background on the PID. We can answer any questions from there.
Okay. Andre, would you go ahead and do that?
Good evening again, Mayor, Council, City staff. So I'm gonna give you a quick overview of what a PID is for those that were not here back in 2020. So a public improvement district, think of that as a defined area within the city or the city's ETJ. In this case, the Oaks project is within the city. So that area was designated as a public improvement district back in 2020. The city entered into a development agreement with the developer to reimburse a portion, not all, just a portion of the authorized costs as outlined in the service and assessment plan for such public improvement district. Now, the service and assessment plan was first drafted in 2021, but it only included what was going to happen in what we call improvement area 1 of the district. And that was for 322 lots that were developed back in 2021. What you have in front of you now is for improvement areas 2 and 3, which is about 330 lots coming forward. Now, the service and assessment plan outlines what projects are eligible to be reimbursed. Again, you will not reimburse all of them because we don't have the capacity to do that. But you will be reimbursing a portion of, let's say, typical water, sewer, drainage, roads, infrastructure, whatever is outlined in such plan that will be presented to you at a future date, most likely in August. Now, PIDs are self-funded areas. So the PIDs, the way they generate money is that council levies special assessments against the properties within the PID for 2 purposes. 1, to pay for the authorized costs or the benefit that those residents get out of the PID. And secondly, for administration, because what we don't want is for the city to subsidize the PID. So there are 2 assessments in there again. A capital assessment that it goes on to pay principal and interest on the payments to the developer or the bonds, if you issue bonds to pay the developer, and administration. So again, these are self-funded and do not impose a burden on the city as a whole. Special assessments for those people that live there can be paid at any time. So if you live in a public improvement district and your land has a PID lien, you can pay it off at any time, unlike property taxes. We cannot prepay property taxes, but we can prepay assessments. If someone within the PID chooses to pay that, then the lien goes away. And then we have to issue bonds, take away that portion of the bonds that were issued from that prepayment. Special assessments, again, they're typically structured over 30 years. That's just to mirror what the mortgage loan looks like. So that is typical in Texas. It is a 30-year amortization of the special assessment. Again, paid at any time if the landowner chooses to do that. And then the city's responsibility in this case are 4 things. 1 is the levy of assessments. So the city is responsible for the levy of assessments, the collection of such assessments, the administration of the PID, and you do hire a third-party consultant to assist you with that, so you don't burden your staff, and that is paid out of the administrative levy that I just mentioned. And last but not least, reporting. So every so often, we have to make a report available to any investor that is interested in knowing what is happening within the PID. And the PID administrator, along with our office, assists the city with that process. So every 6 months, every year, we put a report out just so that bond investors know what is happening. So that in a nutshell is what a PID is. So what do we have here? Again, this is for the Oaks project. So this was Amalgamated Properties back in 2020. You approved an agreement with them. Right now, I went online and I found some home builders that are active in the area. So you have the likes of History Maker, Bloomfield, DRB, which was back in the day, Brightland Homes. So those guys are involved there. The price points are higher than expected. That's why the developer is asking you to consider an increase on the assessments for this one. So I looked at the price points between 340,000 and about 623,000 for an individual house in the Oaks development. Again, improvement area 1, which was phases 1, 2, and 4, that was financed 5 years ago, 2021. The city levied $657,000 worth of assessments. That means that if you approve the amendment today, it only leaves $8,343,000 left for improvement areas 2 and 3 combined. So that will be the ceiling. We cannot levy more than that if you approve these amendments. Again, improvement areas 2 and 3 would be phases 3, 5A, and 5B. And that would be 330 single family lots, 50, 62s, and 74. So the bigger ones are coming in this second phase. Again, the city would be asked to consider a reimbursement agreement and the amendment to the development agreement. The reimbursement agreement, what it does is that it allows the developer to convey the facilities to the city and create a mechanism for them to get reimbursed if and only if the city approves the levy of assessments for areas 2 and 3. So there are no revenues that are encumbered here except for those special assessments to be levied in the future. And the city can pay those costs of the developer over time, 30-year amortization, or the city can elect to issue a bond, pay the developer a lump sum, and then use the assessment collections to pay the bonds, which is the plan that has been envisioned here for this purpose. Now, as far as what the next steps would be, council, so if you decide to proceed with these 2 amendments, with the amendment and the reimbursement agreement, what the next step would be is to prepare and finalize the amended servicing assessment plan, because we have to expand that document and now include areas 2 and 3, because we only have area 1 right now. Areas 2 and 3 would have costs, and again, water, sewer, drainage, roads, the typical infrastructure cost that you see in a subdivision. And that assessment would be limited to $8,343,000. We're gonna have to run the numbers and see what the PID equivalent rate is. So back in 2020, we had a ceiling of 39 cents. In the end, we ended up issuing those bonds at 37 cents. The developer is requesting an increase to a maximum of 46 cents. When we ran the numbers, preparing for this meeting, we were looking at 43 cents on a conservative basis. So in a good day, it could be less than that, probably closer than what you had back in 2020 as the ceiling. But the developer is asking you to consider a slightly higher PID rate just in the event that interest rates work against us when the bonds are issued. And then I want to reiterate here that if the bonds are structured correctly, and that is our job, the bond attorney's job, city staff job, city attorney, everybody, to make sure that they're structured in such a way that they don't encumber any of the city's assets and revenues. So this should not be something that will put pressure on your tax rate, on your general fund budget, utility rates, or anything like that. The bondholders fully understand that the only recourse that they have is the special assessment revenue collected within areas 2 and 3. Again, if the assessment plan is approved in August, then you would be calling a public hearing for the levy of assessments and the issuance of bonds in September. We close the transaction in September. A portion of the bond proceeds go to pay off the developer. There's no more that you can give him because we don't have any more assessments. So they will have to take a portion of that then. And then the city would pay off those bonds on an annual basis with the assessments collected within areas 2 and 3. Have any questions, Mayor, Council?
Thank you very much.
I'd also point out too, back when we did the original ones, we limited it on that rate, but really what we were trying to get to was limiting the total combined rate for city, school, county, all rate together, which is what we were. So this rate, this maximum 46 cents still falls well below that total combined rate. So we're only increasing the PID rate, has no effect on the total combined rate.
So I do have a question. And maybe this is the 39% that, sorry.
Wait just a minute. Let's get legal
Okay.
and then we'll open that public hearing and.
Sounds good.
Then answer all the questions, correct? There's not? Oh, discussion, consider discussion, our discussion, okay, but yeah,
Not a
let's let
problem.
him.
Yeah, with regard to aid, Andre correctly,
It is.
He just turned it off.
that's not, how about speaking to it's better. So item 8 is the actual amendment to include the areas that Andre just spoke about, to add to our first agreement with them, to add in the new area. And then the maximum $14 million, which is the $8 million that Andre spoke about. So this will be a slight, very short amendment. It's in your packet that we would consider to amend that agreement. And then we need to approve item 7 for them in order to get the reimbursement. And then the debt will actually come back to you and the service plan will come back to you at a subsequent meeting. But this is the first steps in that process. And if there's any questions about the amendment, I'll be happy to answer them.
Now, Mayor Pro Tem, thank you.
Thank you. No questions about the amendment, more so a question about the reimbursement for a portion of the improvement areas. So that amount, that portion amount is not to exceed 14 million?
It's 14 million combined, but the city already levied assessments for area 1. So areas 2 and 3 will be limited to 8,343,000
Maximum?
max.
Okay, is that, and maybe you said this and it went over my head, but is that based on a percentage or a dollar amount agreement?
It is a dollar amount agreement.
A dollar amount agreement. Okay, thank you.
And I want to make sure I understand what the purpose of the PID is. So these improvements are infrastructure improvements that are needed that the developer can't pay out of pocket because we have better funding avenues. We're basically borrowing and we get paid back on what we borrow from the assessment that goes as a lien on the land. Is that right?
To a degree, but it also is for areas like Stevenson Road is what we're basically.
Okay, so not the development itself.
Right.
It's the assessment for
The
the whole area.
offset piece that the entire city will likely use as opposed to the internal
Got it.
local streets within the suburb.
That makes sense.
They're adding sufficient load that it's affiliated with the enlargement of Stevens.
Yeah.
So that's their portion. So we're using this kind of, instead of burdening, and it'll service predominantly the Oaks.
Right.
So it's eligible for reimbursement along with the water and sewer and roads within the Oaks development itself.
It's kind of like impact fees, but with just a different
Yeah, it's kind of,
mechanism.
yeah,
that
yes,
right? Okay.
yes.
So-
And
That makes
it's
sense.
very similar in that they're adding that load on Stevens, so that load gets legitimately attributed to the PID. And then the rest of the citizens don't underwrite that development.
Right.
The PID,
Same reason, same justification for an impact fee. The mechanism's different, I guess is what it sounds like. And what are the administrative costs? It's not our interest on the bond, it's just the bill, just the collection and the reporting piece of it. That's what we can
in
bring.
the annual assessment that's done, P3 is who we use to do that work for us.
And we can build that into the.
And it's built into the
lien.
reimbursement.
Okay.
There's an administrative assessment. And that's what that administrative assessment's for, as well as for the payback of the bonds themselves, the infrastructure.
And how does the ultimate landowner that holds this lien, how do they pay this lien back? I know it's amortized. Is it paid at some sort of a, separate?
You'll, every year when we do the budget, since we've had the PID, we get that assessment and service report from P3, and it's part of your budget process and part of your tax rate. It's a separate item, and so when you get your tax bill, you get a special assessment for PID
Got it,
number
okay.
1, and
It's
that.
like
is
to pay the
separate.
tax bill. Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense. Okay. Those are my, I had just mechanism questions, so thank you.
Just one more question for clarification. The 39 cent increase to, was it 43 or 48?
Maximum 46.
The developer is asking for a maximum of 46 cents.
Okay, and what was the justification for going to the max and not somewhere in between?
Yes, so the the increase in the maximum pit rate is driven by higher home values that have been accrued within the project compared to 5 years ago. And then to finance the $8,343,000 that are left over there. Now, they're asking for 46 cents, but when we ran the numbers on this project, we're getting closer to 43, 42.
Okay, and I think that's where I was kind of going with this, because it seemed like they just asked for the max. Shoot for the moon, land on the clouds type.
So
approach.
their ask is to mitigate a potential increase in interest rates, just because the market is a little volatile these days. But when we've been running these numbers for a while now, and I keep getting 42, 43 cents on this additional assessment.
So the rate will be the rate.
Mhm.
But basically, until we issue the bonds, we don't know whether they're gonna issue at 5.1 or 6.2. So that leaves the ability for that interest rate on the day it's issued to say, okay, based on this interest rate, it needs to be 46 cents because it's high when it was issued, as opposed to if we hit it like they're presenting, we may be more like 42 or 43 cents.
And Mr. Franklin, to add to that, Mr. Fuller mentioned the overall burden on the project. So even if we were to add 46 cent pit rate, let's say we go to the maximum for some reason, it will still be 31 cents lower than what we had back in 2020.
I understand that.
From an overall perspective.
All we're doing is by asking for the increase is to make sure there's not an interest hit between now and the time we issue debt. So we're just building a cushion in there in case interest rates are changed.
Understood. Thank you all.
So, development wise, are there houses that are already in phase 3, phase 5A? Those are all blank. Is any of the road infrastructure in? Or sewer infrastructure in to those areas? Yeah, come on up. State your name and
Steve Fluker, 2811 Bauer Court, Lucas, Texas, 75001. To answer your question, the improvements are in phase 5A and 5B. They have not yet been city accepted. We have had a walk. Everything's just waiting on landscaping at this point in time and some water meters. But all the improvements are in for 5A, 5B. Phase 3 is the final phase of the Oaks. That's a phase of 66, 74-foot lots. Those are the largest lots out there.
on the north side there.
That one we have not started yet. We're hoping the market might improve a little bit, but we are starting to talk to builders about contracting that.
Excellent. Yeah, I remember the project, and how it was broken down. Thank you very much.
And I will just to add, the reason we're asking for this is our development costs from when we developed phase 1 increased during our development period about 30 to 40%. And development costs have not come down since. In fact, paving continues to go the wrong direction. So we're issuing these bonds primarily so that we can fund the construction of Stevenson Road. So that's the ask. What we thought was going to be $1 million for Stevenson Road is now $3.4 million. So we're trying to get some help.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Well,
Any other questions?
No question.
Okay. Yes.
So we make clear that this is just a fee or assessment, whatever we want to call it, just for the houses that are there. It's not for the other 17,000
Correct.
residents we have.
And it's been there since 2021.
Yeah, 5 years now. But we just need to make clear that it's not citywide. We're not, it's
It
just
is
for
not
this
citywide.
300 houses or whatever we're looking at. But you're gonna get people like, why are we paying for Stevenson Road and I'm over here?
Well, that's why we're doing it. So this development is paying for the infrastructure for this development.
That's all.
That the rest of the citizens are not underwriting that development.
That's what I want to be. Thank you. It's a good point, Council.
Okay, we are going to go into executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code, section 551.071, section 551.087. Those two, correct? Bob?
Yes,
Okay.
and there's been a question about the tax code consequences, and I need to give you some advice about that, so it'll only take a minute.
Okay. And the time is 7:55. Are we inviting Mr. McRoberts?
Yes, please.
Ask him.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, okay, and Roderick? No?
This is
Oh,
bank
oh.
related.
Yeah, Andre? No? Nope, never mind,
I
sorry.
don't think it matters.
I think you explained it really well,
Yeah,
and we have
I
your
think
paperwork.
I think we have what we need
So, okay,
from that.
all right, we'll be back here in just a few minutes.
Shouldn't take
time is 8:11 and we will reconvene back into open session. Legal, Ms. Hager, will you please?
Yes, sir. As a result of the executive session and the presentation of items 7 and 8, I would request that the council consider adopting resolution 26-030R, approving a reimbursement agreement between the city, the Oaks of Red Oak LLC, Red Oak 66 Holding LLC, in connection with the Red Oak Public Improvement District Number 1, and to approve the terms and conditions of the Second Amendment to the Public Improvement District Service Agreement to increase the amount of bond indebtedness on the property not to exceed $14 million, subject to final approval by the city attorney, and authorizing the city manager to sign in resolution 26031.
Right, council, okay, that is Lightfoot
Second,
and Franklin. Those in favor?
Franklin, aye. No
Flannery, aye.
questions.
I'm sorry, any questions?
No questions.
All right,
Franklin, aye.
Flannery, aye.
Miller, aye.
Lightfoot, aye.
Smith, aye.
That's 5-0. Okay, that was adopting both resolutions, Ms. Karen.
Correct.
All right, that is all our active items to cover. We do have departmental reports. Ms. Beasley. Thank you, sir, very much. Good to see you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just two highlights from this month's report. First, I did want to highlight that we brought home 2 state awards this year from the, thank you, from the annual TAMIO, Texas Association of Municipal Information Officers conference. We brought home a TAMI, which is first place for Best Educational PSA, which again, we did that last year as well for our State of the City of video. So thank you all for participating and going along with our creative ideas for that. And then an excellence award, which is second place for our use of vertical video on social media. So we are, excited to bring those home, and hopefully we'll have a couple more to share with you here in the next couple months. The other highlight, wanted to thank directors, although we have, again, thank directors for their help with the annual Red Oak White and Blue event. We had a record-breaking attendance this year of 7,500, which we were able to, easily calculate because of the way we had traffic flowing in and out of the event this year. So we got a really good car count and have that number to share with you guys. So great, successful event. We're already started planning for next year. So those are the main highlights from this month's report, and I'll take any questions anybody may have.
No, I still think your team does an amazing job with the social media. So every time I log on and see the page, it's something to make you laugh. So good job on it.
Thank you very much. I'll pass that along.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anything from Mr. Harkins?
Mayor, Council, Mr. Hartman's out this evening. So real quick, I'll just let you know that you saw in his report, there's 24 residential housing permits issued month of June, and the Firestone Auto Repair Center opened as well. So happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Thank you, sir. Mr. McRoberts.
Okay, the only thing I really have to say again, this month is about sales tax. We're up again, big time, year over year. So we're gonna have a really good budget here for sales tax. Again, I'd caution, a lot of it is construction heavy, so we're keeping an eye on the detail and who's in the top couple, 3, 5 each month. So it's just something to keep an eye on, as well as permits continue to come in. We're at 275% of our budget for permits, and we've already met our general fund revenues for the year, thanks to those one-time permits. So general fund's in really good shape. Water fund's tracking. We're kind of waiting for some numbers to see if, we had a lot of rain, but now it's drying out. So we should have a pretty good idea on water sewer next month. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Jones, Chief Jones.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The Chief Jones got a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Hey, so it's hard to believe it's been a month now. So it's this is a great place. I'm really glad to be here. Yeah, we got the monthly report we put out. Some of the highlights really more for us on the run volume. You know, so our runs continue to increase both in the city and the ESD. So comparing month to month last year, we've had about a 25% increase from in the ESD, an increase in runs, and then about 32% increase within the city. So we're continue to grow those call volumes. We're excited to get Station 3 online. It's progressing well. The substantial completion date, I think, is September the 24th. We're still hiring. We're still going through the hiring process, finish hiring the firefighters for those. Got another promotional process to do to fill a driver engineer position. Our fire inspector we hired back in January. He decided that he would like to choose another path of occupation outside the fire service. So we had 2 great interviews that we conducted today, and we're look forward to bringing on the seasoned fire inspector to come in and help us. We just now we go through that process a little longer when you hire someone who's got a TCOL or a peace officer certification to get through that background. The truck 183 and engine 182, they're still in the process of being put together. We're still probably thinking maybe December, January for the truck, and we're probably a couple months out getting fully outfitted for the new engine. With that, I'll open any questions you may have.
Chief, how was 4th of July for your squad? Do we have any major issues?
You know, I really wish I had a good answer for that, but no one called me.
Well, no news is good.
But I know we were quite busy with grass fires, more so maybe in the ESD. Quite a few grass fires. Are y'all working? No. So there's no one to call on BS on me. So, but I know from watching calls, there were quite a few grass fires. I noticed that, and then, but most of that was against Station 2's district.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
You mentioned runs are increasing. What kind of runs are you looking at?
Yeah, so pretty much for us, the balance is usually in the 70s, the 30s, right, on EMS to fire calls. This last month, I think for us, we were in the 60s for EMS calls, and that's a majority of stuff we have. But when you look at, I know a comment was made earlier about major accidents. Our biggest non-EMS calls or major accidents for last month, it was like 21 wrecks. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're looking at, that's not quite 10% of our call volume, but it's not far off. But majority of stuff is EMS related. Yes. All good?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Miss Amanda.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I just have a quick update on recruitment to piggyback off of Chief Jones. In June, we added 5 new hires, and we currently have 9 positions posted for applicants. Among those postings, we did post the fire chief position last week. So we'll run that process. We're in the beginning stages of it. Last month, we also issued a benefits RFP on our life, accidental death, and dismemberment and long-term disability coverages. And then we'll be able to update you later this month on the results of that RFP. I'm available to answer any questions you may have for my monthly report.
No question. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Binford.
Mayor, Council, just a couple of things. We did get all the telephones swapped out in the city, all the desk phones and conference phones all in one day, and it went off pretty much without a hitch. So a lot of planning up front, a few hiccups, but once we got all the planning done, the actual conversion just went really smooth. We also finished some upgrades in this room, so the sound's a little better in here with new speakers. We added some monitors, so we're still working on a few things, but got a lot of changes that I think it sounds a little bit better in here now. And just been doing some work getting ready for the new Dobbins Tower and Station 3, doing network configs and that kind of thing. And I know you guys are all in the middle of your cybersecurity training.
Oh, I thought it was spam. I just deleted it.
It'll probably resend. That's the nice thing about this software. If you don't get it done, it just starts sending you reminders over and over and over.
Where's it come from?
Know before.
No before.
KNOW, the BE and the number 4.
I've done that once before, right?
probably as last year.
Does that
Every
not
year.
count? Oh,
What's the fun of it? It just keeps giving every year. It's like your birthday.
and that's an email.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't take emails.
I can probably send it to your text.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
When's it due? Next May?
There will be one probably due by then, yeah.
I couldn't hear any of that, John. I don't know. You ain't actually speaking.
Ms. Fuller.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. June was exciting at the library. We've got a couple of major changes. We have installed our 3 new study pods, so those are available to reserve now. Since they were installed on June 19th, there has not been a single day they have not been in use. We also updated our library calendar and booking software, an all-new software that will allow booking for Makerspace, booking for the study pods, and it will help us update our daily calendar for the citizens. And the last point I wanted to make was the library welcomed over 3,800 people in June, which marks our highest month in over 2 years. So since the new library opened, this has been our most attended month. That's all I've got for you. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you. Very nice.
Thank you.
Mr. Cooper.
Good evening. Once again, thank you for recognizing July as Parks and Recreation Month. Appreciate all of y'all's support from council to city management and understanding that Parks and Rec plays a vital role in everybody's lives here in Red Oak. So thank you again for that. With that said, June was busy for us as well. We did host a U-Trip World Series down here at the baseball complex, hosting 59 teams from all over the country. So we hosted visitors from everywhere that all got to come and experience Red Oak because of that wonderful facility that's right behind us. So thank you for that. New parking lot's been constructed thanks to the help from our Public Works Department. Thanks, Jared. You'll see over there, there is a median over there. We just got a PO issued to beautify that median. So it'll really enhance the look of that building here in the next few months. And then on a maintenance side, our operations side, we put in new programmable locks on all of our park restrooms, which sounds kind of silly, but it saves us a whole lot of time and effort. It makes us a lot more efficient. So those locks will automatically lock at a certain time and unlock at a certain time. So we're not relying on a person to go and do those tasks. So it gives us a lot more flexibility and again, to be a lot more efficient in the field. So those are some pretty good projects that we've completed. And then this Friday, I hope you all have the opportunity to join us at 9 a.m. at Pearson Park as we have our grand opening of the splash pad. We're really happy with the way it turned out. The pictures in your packet do not do it justice. We were able to find some money in the operating budget to actually do the pavilion. So the pavilions, painted and resurfaced to match. And it turned out really great. So love to see you there on Friday if you can make it. If not, if you want to go see it behind the scenes, let me know and we can schedule something. But with that, I'm here for any questions you might have.
Yes, who won the series?
Do what?
Who won?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. You put me on the spot. The best team out there.
Thank you.
So those lights are on timers, correct? Or to cut off at a certain time?
Yes.
Except for maybe during the World Series or?
No, all the games they have to end by 10:30 if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the cutoff. So they will never be on past 10:30.
Okay, just making sure, just because we have a local resident that thought that they were on, so he could read the lights at midnight or something. This is a newspaper. Mr. Grandstaff. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
Chief. Tejerina.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a couple of highlights from your police department. To touch on training, there's 2 different training courses that I have to take within a year of being named chief. I took care of one last month, scheduled for the 2nd in January. So after that, I'll be right with the state. We also rolled out our new department issued firearms and red dot optics. We were able to put on an 8-hour training class, both familiarization with a new sighting aperture and qualification with the firearms. So everybody got qualified. We're all good there. I had an officer attend a TCOL basic instructor. It's a priority of mine, investing and empowering our employees. send them to training like this, they can then come back to the department and have our own training cadre. Our FTO coordinator went to a supervising FTO program just to keep up to date on best practices on a very integral part of a police department and managing our field training officers. And I had a sergeant attend his first FBI LEDA class. If you're not familiar with FBI LEDA, it's law enforcement executive development. It's cutting edge kind of supervisory command and executive level training for police supervisors. It's a priority of mine to send my sergeants and above to all 3 modules of FBI LEDA. So we're getting there. Some community events we took place in last month. We were invited to the Juneteenth leadership breakfast, which was an amazing time. And we also hosted a senior safety and scam prevention presentation for members of the community. And quick update on recruiting. We currently have 7 lateral applicants that are being pre-screened right now. We have 6 entry-level applicants that are going through background investigations. And we have another test date, July 22nd. And as of now, there's 26 applicants signed up to take that test in July. That's all I have for you on top of our monthly report. Happy to answer any questions.
Yes, Chief, how was your 4th of July for your staff?
4th of July was busy. Call volume was heavy. I fielded a couple of calls. It's where we're located. If people call in a fireworks complaint or noise complaint, across the street is Ellis County. So it's perfectly acceptable to shoot off fireworks across the street, but you can't do it in the city. So a lot of call volume from that. Dispatch did an amazing job prioritizing those calls. Kind of like the fire chief said, I didn't get any phone calls, so nothing crazy happened.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Benford.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. June has been a very busy month for Public Works. We completed a total of 874 individual tasks, along with 863 water samples last month alone. Every day, 365 days a year to make sure that water is perfect and safe. Give you an update on a couple of big projects. Both Lawrence and Yule Road, we're working on subgrade stabilization, putting lime subgrade down before they start getting ready for rebar forms and pouring pavement here pretty quickly. Fox Hollow Lift Station, contractors are working on our SCADA integrations, pump and motor controls and electrical. We should be done with that project within the month. And then Dobbits, they are completing the second floor structure right now, installing beams and getting ready to pour that concrete. And they're getting ready to start installing the water line within the next few weeks. We got a chance to go up on the very top and inspect the tank this last month. Is a long way up there, but is good climb. I got a couple good photos after we wipe the sweat off our brows. But it's a good time. And so hopefully here in the next couple months, we'll get an opportunity to have y'all come out after that second floor is done and have y'all walk the site. And I mean, if you feel like climbing 200 feet, you know, get Bob to sign some waivers for everybody. That's, oh yeah, we all had safety harnesses in the picture. I just sent it to Amanda. So if you don't have any questions, that's all I have.
Question.
Thank you very much.
Do want to say thanks for painting the walkway.
Oh,
Speed bump. I noticed it was.
Oh, yeah.
Raised
bright yellow
crosswalk.
now. Crosswalk, raised crosswalk.
Raised crosswalk.
So you can see it now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
mistaking it now.
So on Red Oak Road, what are the changes y'all are gonna do?
So on Red Oak Road, the southern lanes, the eastbound lanes, they are should be pulling barricades and everything late Tuesday, early Wednesday, just based on those concrete breaks. When we shift to the north lanes, we're going to break it up into 2 smaller segments. So west of Creekview West and then east of Creekview East, where those repairs are happening, and we'll be utilizing rented temporary signal lights. The reason why we broke it up into smaller segments is so not as much is closed off. And the idea is that you will be able to see the other people waiting at the other side, and maybe that will encourage you to actually wait your turn, as well as just having the shorter segment people might be a little bit more patient.
Yeah.
It's gonna draw the project a little bit more, and yes, there is added cost to those lights. They're not cheap, but it will help with safety, maybe help with some PD calls. But, you know, this last week, man, I was out here this weekend and I saw them pulling people over, and it's a lot of signs to ignore.
Yeah.
People weren't happy about it, but they definitely ignored every single one of those.
Yeah, I think there's about 50 that you have to ignore to come through there, so. But yeah, this next segment, we will be utilizing those temporary signal lights in those two smaller segments now.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, the time is 8:32, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Funner, aye.
Miller, I.
Lightfoot, aye.
Smith, aye.
Thank you for attending.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Christmas in July.
It's just